So, last we left off, you guys continued your journey north to the Adayi Forest. Various conversations were had on the road. Levy was called out for not sleeping. I feel like Erin got dragged.
Deserved it.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm trying to remember myself.
It has been, hasn't it?
But yeah, you guys had a brief encounter, I recall, with just in the distance, the guards of the country kind of just keeping an eye on the border, making sure nothing weird is being smuggled out of the unclaimed lands, because everyone knows that the unclaimed lands, it's full of weird stuff and weird magic. But they didn't really bother you too much. You guys didn't bother them. I mean, you seem trustworthy, I guess. But from there, you continuing north, you made your way through the I guess valley isn't the right word, through the plains, where small groves were starting to grow, and within it you were able to find a basket of mushrooms, and then through Esmeralda's help, the body of the owner of basket of said mushrooms. To deciding to take the mushrooms with you, you guys continued on your way, where you are finally able to rest eyes upon the Adayi Forest. And that's where we will pick up. So what do you guys want to do?
Keep walking, I guess.
What does the forest kind of look like? Is it, I guess, like what kind of trees? Is it like fir trees? Maple, oak, like an assortment?
A mix.
Okay.
A mix of trees. I'll tell you what, roll a nature check, just as you're
fuck.
First roll of the day, guys.
Okay, Tobias, you have proficiency in this.
No pressure.
Don't fuck up.
But all the pressure.
That's gonna be a 6, DM.
A 6. Yeah, it looks old.
I think Hawk's gonna be curious about this, because he heard that all this shit burned down, and that might not have been reliable, but he is wondering how this is all still standing. Let me actually log into Roll20 so I can have the modifier, though. Unless you can just find it.
When remembering the fire that was mentioned and stuff, was it specifically stated that the whole forest burned down, or just like a massive part?
Massive part.
Okay.
Oh, Hawk's a dumb piece of shit, so.
But I love him.
I do too, but that doesn't mean he's smart.
We're both chugging that dumb bitch juice today, huh?
He is smart. He's just not. He's just like averagely wise and kind of naive. Okay. Nature 5. Okay. That is a D10 and not a D20. That is half as much as I want. Hey, that is a 17.
17. Okay. So you have read about this type of forest. This is called an old growth forest. So that means it has attained a great age without significant disturbance up until recently with the forest, the fire, of course, and thereby you would be able to guess that it would exhibit some unique ecological features. Within the forest, you'd probably find large trees standing with standing dead trees in multi-layered canopies with gaps that result from the deaths of the individual trees. And the said gaps in the canopy allowing for undergrowth to grow. It's an old forest. As such, there's bound to be some unique forms of biodiversity within, both magical and otherwise.
All right. Cool. Also slightly concerning.
So I will ask you guys if you want to skirt to the west to try to enter the forest, where there are more trees, or if you want to travel through the burned area.
Well, Aaron's gonna be voting for avoiding the burned area.
Do we know where Oafsey would be if he's trying to restore parts of the forest?
According to the information that Esmeralda gave you, the people from her tribe, as well as Oafsey, were sent to an ancient temple to the god of the wilderness, essentially. It's supposed to be in the heart of the forest.
Well, that might mean just going straight in.
So
I mean, I look at Esmeralda, I'm just like, Esmeralda, do you know how to locate these things?
Well, to my knowledge, I was told that the forest would guide those who are worthy to go to the temple. Does
that count in the areas where the forest is burnt down?
I would believe so, in my opinion, just because the forest is a little bit burned. Well, it is still a part of the forest, even if it is damaged.
I imagine it would be easier to see things coming if we're in the burn section.
There's also the fact that usually when forests are burned, it displaces much of the creatures that live there, meaning we might not see much in terms of potential enemies or obstacles if we go through the bird section, because they would have been chased out by the fire. Granted, there is also, or it is important to also acknowledge that by going through the burn section, if we do find something, it might be something that's strong enough that either wasn't scared by the fire or is specifically looking for easy targets or things passing through the open.
Sounds like a challenge.
We're gonna put up to that. That does make sense. Nodding.
This does seem like an older kind of forest. Perhaps this cycle of death and life is normal here. So I'm not sure if anything would, I'm not sure what a burned section of the forest would change. But if most of the forest is burned and the temple is located in the heart, I wonder if the heart was burned as well.
It's a very old and strong forest. It would take a lot for it to burn all the way down.
I guess the best course of action then is to just have at it.
See what we can find.
Alicia's looking at Erin like wiggling eyebrows like, are you gonna say something as we're about to like, are you gonna
Lish's
Erin,
eyebrow. I want someone to draw Lish with the eyebrows wiggling that fast because yes.
Just like a 2-frame hyperspeed GIF.
Erin is probably not looking at Lish, and he has started unconsciously scratching at his shoulders.
I was
can't
gonna
avoid my eye contact?
I was gonna have Tobias ask as well the question. I was gonna ask a question. I was also gonna ask how to spell the Adayi Forest, but then I saw that it's right there in front of me, and I'm like, oh. Took me 5 minutes to realize. But what I was gonna ask was, or what I was gonna have Tobias ask Esmeralda was, do you know or have any information on what the temple looked like if it was tall enough to be seen from the air?
Let's see what she would know about this. Oh, she rolled well.
Ooh.
So to my knowledge, most temples to Sylvanas are open air. There would probably be some stonework, but in it, most temples to him, especially within natural areas, are sort of encouraged to allow the wilderness around them to help overtake the walls and such. So there would probably be some remnants, but as this is a much older temple, we'd probably be looking for something more like ruins.
Doesn't sound like it'd be easy to see from the air. So perhaps
especially not with the canopy of the woods the way it is.
So sending Biog up to scout ahead might not work.
And the forest itself is big, so if you're sending a tiny owl to scout the entire fucking forest,
listen,
you'd be up there for a couple weeks.
Listen, Hawk has confidence in his little girl. Give him a chance.
Suppose that crosses out that avenue. So since the fire burned most of it, that means that in terms of proportion wise for the area that the forest takes up, most of it is burned down while a percentage of it, or a smaller percentage of it, is still forest.
About half of it.
Okay, so about half and half.
Yeah.
Okay.
When making this map, I kind of just went off of vibes because I didn't know how to use the tools.
Dude.
No, it's all good. I'm just like trying to get a visual in my head of with the layout, you know. Yeah. If scouting from the air it's about half and half. If scouting from the air isn't exactly, I suppose, like, if we wanted to, we could potentially scout from the air for the burned portion to see if the temple itself was caught up in the blaze. Because if it's stonework, it'll still be visible. It just won't have the growth and stuff, and then we might be able to find it through the debris. But if that area of the forest hasn't been touched, then it'll still definitely be under the canopy. So I guess it's kind of up to a vote for all of us. Is if do we want to just pick a direction and try to walk towards the heart of the forest, or see if we can fly above and scout, and then
Easy enough to fly.
What was that, Kenzie? I didn't catch like the first
Easy
little
enough
bit of that.
to fly. Save us some time if we have to double back. Although I do want to poke around in these woods a little bit. Eyebrow wiggle. Eyebrow wiggle.
I'm slightly concerned about the forest will lead you to the temple aspect of it as well. Because I'm concerned if we fly, if that will cancel out that. Slash it.
Is it
This. Go ahead.
is it like a pull, like some sort of magic thing, or is it more like the forest itself has natural paths of some sort that would eventually lead to the temple?
To be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure one way or another. My plan was to head towards the middle of the forest and find a natural space, a glade perhaps, or a old stump to sit upon, and then I would meditate and ask Sylvanas for direction.
That makes sense.
It's a better plan than we have right now, I think.
Sounds good to me. Better than aimlessly wandering and flying. And, if push comes to shove, we can always fall back onto that other plan.
That's true. We're not. It's not like we can't come back to it.
All right.
So we came from the south. We might want to just keep heading north.
So, this point, just for my own ease, I will ask you guys for a marching order.
Should
long-
Esmeralda go first?
She can if you want her to.
How
And
long
who's
of a-
after Esmeralda?
How long of a span is it before we actually kind of reach the forest border?
You could probably walk there in 30 minutes.
Okay. Lush will be kind of more towards the front until we actually hit the forest. And
Okay.
then he'll fall back a bit.
Aaron's more towards the back.
Okay.
Tobias will be next to Esmeralda.
All right.
Rock's gonna be up there too, just so he can help with orientation and stuff.
Okay. Demir.
Here will be kind of in the middle, but she is going to stay so that she has eyes on Lish at all times.
Okay.
So if he moves back, she's going to move back.
All right. So as you guys approach the edge of the forest, all right. If anyone would like to make a perception check, I just had Esmeralda roll 2.
Near the front,
Oh,
so he
well.
might as
Got a
well.
Toby got a 19.
What was it?
That is a 15 for me. Not
Oh,
great.
15 here too. The hawk dice actually like me today.
11.
Was that a perception?
Yes.
Perceptione.
13.
Okay. And Avery, if you want to control Levy for now too.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Let me make a perception check for Levy.
Just to double check real quick, Aaron was in the middle or the back?
I
Aaron
think
was in
the
the
back.
back.
I think he's probably trailing.
Okay. Aaron's in the back, and then
And the
Demir and
fighters
Levy are in the
yelling, "Hurry!"
middle, and Lish is in the back, or is also in the middle? Like when we hit the forest.
The marching order I have is Esmeralda and Toby standing next to each other in the front, and then it's Lish and Hawk standing behind them. Then it's Demir and Levy, and then it's Erin bringing up the rear.
Okay, go. Then.
And Levy rolled a 2.
Okay.
She's not
Aw.
paying attention.
So
It's fine.
Levy's mind is on the conversation she had with Tobias. But she's also sort of noticing just some of the animals around her and how ancient the forest feels. Who got above a 15?
That would be Tobias.
All right. So Toby and Esmeralda, since you guys are in front, you both kind of look at each other. You notice something on some of the trees as you get closer, and you exchange a glance, and because you both recognize it, carved onto some of the trees, just spaced, fair distance apart from each other, but still visible nonetheless. Even on some of the burned trees, you both see the carved symbol for Hunter's Cant for sacred land.
Well, I'd say this means we're on the right path.
Is there like a different vibe around this point? Like, is there something like in the air and the grounds that feels different being in the forest?
Well, you're still just at the border right now, so you're not in the forest right now. But and you especially, Lish, you can just feel the age of this forest. In Princess Mononoke, at the end when the forest is dead, but it's coming back, sort of. There are these giant ass trees on the ground. Hang on, stop biting my laptop cord. Anyway, where there's these giant trees on the ground that have died, but there's still things starting to grow up around them. That is the sort of vibe you're getting from the burned part of the forest. So it's probably good that you didn't take to the air, because there's still just so much.
Not as burned as I thought it might be.
It's still burned, but the trees that are dead are at this point have begun to give way to new life. And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not certain if this was natural or has been helped along by something.
Yeah, I mean, he's taken that into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been worse a couple years ago when it burned, but doesn't seem quite as dead now.
It's definitely not like Lion King where everything was dead. it's things are growing back.
The vibe I'm sort of getting matches this like there's this Australian streamer who did like other stuff, but she had this one thing where she just explored an Australian bushfire aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like dead, like completely charred up trees everywhere, but there was still like lichens and something and like little sprouts growing out of all the burned trunks. That's sort of the same thing that I think Avery's going for here, where it's like
Yes.
all dead, but it's growing back from the ashes, quite literally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shall
Then
we
I
go on?
guess we shall proceed.
I'm glad we're on the right track.
All right. So the forest is quite large and ancient. A big part of old growth forests is that the forest floor, there tends to be coarse woody debris that helps to feed the undergrowth. Since you entered the burned part of the forest, you would guess that it is a big part of the reason why the fire was as big as it was, is because of this wooden debris. It caught quickly and spread. But once within the forest, let's have a random encounter because you guys are in the unclaimed lands, my dudes. Who wants to roll a D100?
Do it.
If no one
Do
else is
it.
doing it, I've got a
Okay,
pair of D100
I'll
D10s
roll.
here. Okay.
I'll roll a D100. Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it? D100. Let's do this, baby. 34.
34. Let's see what happens. Okay. So as you're walking, you can hear a lot of the natural sounds. You can hear the sounds of birds chirping, the sound of sticks crunching underfoot, and you can hear the sound of birds taking flight. And as you walk, you see, you notice the tracks of a deer that are leading deeper into the forest.
Should we potentially follow it? So if it's heading deeper in, could be potentially closer to the heart.
Well, it is a deer, and though this is sacred land, I'm not sure if it would lead us there with with that intention.
Well,
It's hard for me to say.
I'm not saying it's with the intent, but it's more the heart of the forest. If it hasn't been touched by the fire, it's probably one of the safest places. for creatures to stay.
Life follows life. How big of a deer is it? Just
Roll
an
nature
average,
check.
average size.
Are you able to tell by its tracks?
I mean, a bigger deer would probably have bigger hooves.
Sometimes.
I don't know. I'm no hunter, ironically.
I mean,
I am.
I'm looking at abnormally sized.
Oh yeah, the
It's
tracks
only
are-
an 11. It's a
Seems
deer.
pretty normal to you.
Okay.
Could Tobias roll a nature check to see if the tracks show signs of casual movement / just walking, or like I'm running from something?
Yeah. Roll nature check.
Watch Tobias roll super low. Watch. Ooh, baby, that's a nat 1. So a 3.
Would you like help?
You're having a hard time. You're more distracted by the sound of the forest around you. So you're having a hard time properly examining the tracks.
Fair enough. Well, I guess since this is the first potential clue that we have, at least towards an indication of where the heart could be, I guess we could follow it.
All right.
I'm still not sure if that's wise, but if everyone else thinks it's a good idea.
At the very least, we might find a nice stump for Esmeralda to sit on and meditate.
True.
It might not be right, but I doubt it's going to be very dangerous.
All right. So as you follow the tracks deeper into the woods, it starts to rain. And it's sort of odd because you guys hadn't noticed any rain clouds previously. Well, it had been overcast, but you can sort of tell from the smell of the air and the forest around you that this is probably gonna be a bigger rainstorm than expected. You continue to follow the tracks.
Probably. I mean, unless we start losing the tracks. But
All right. So as you follow the tracks, and even at this point where the forest is burned, there's a lot of plant matter and both burned and dead and otherwise that you're having to wade through. So you guys are moving fairly slowly at this point, but following the tracks of the deer, you're following the deer trail, which is making things a little bit easier on you guys. As you walk, though, the rain is getting harder and harder, and then as you're walking and following the tracks with Tobias and Esmeralda up front, the tracks just stop. there's no sign of a struggle or anything. It's just as if the deer had been walking, and then by all rights it should be standing there, but it's not. And the rain is getting harder. It starts raining really bad, and you start to think that maybe we should find shelter, because given the giant dead trees, they're probably fairly brittle, and we don't want to have any branches fall on us. What do you guys do?
Hawk's gonna try and find the nearest, like, if at all possible, try and find the nearest, like, living tree, or like which direction they could be.
Okay.
What would I roll for that?
Can I say that because Lish was bringing up the back specifically, how long have we been walking now in the forest for?
You have been walking for about an hour.
Okay, well, since kind of more or less we've been walking in the forest, Lish has been hanging back, and as you guys kind of have been like going forward and following the tracks, he's been kind of walking slowly and running his hand along some of the dead trees and stuff, and has been very slowly has been casting plant growth. So kind of behind us as we've been walking, there's just been this sort of slow rise of like little buds and things kind of poking back up from the ground, and just a little bit of life kind of following in our tracks.
When looking through the woods area and stuff, like when peering through the trees, I assume we've reached the point in the forest where, like, if you did a 360, you wouldn't be able to see through the trees. Burn
Absolutely
section.
not. You're in the burn section still.
Oh, okay.
But there's just still so much dense plant life that you cannot see out of it.
Okay.
Was Hawk able to find a living tree?
Hawk, are you looking for like a proper tree or a sapling?
Definitely not a sapling. Like, the thought process is here, well, if it's raining hard and these dead trees could fall on us, you want to find something that's less likely to fall over, or just anything really that could keep us from getting concussed by falling branches.
All right. So let's have you roll an investigation check for this.
Boy, I'm not proficient in that. Doesn't matter. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. You are not able to find a living tree per se, but what you do find is that a couple of fallen trees have sort of leaned against each other, and they are wide enough that you would be able to fit the entire group underneath them, and they would be able to protect you from the storm.
Hawk points them out and says, "Over there. I doubt those things are going to come crashing on us."
All
We should
right.
probably find shelter before the storm gets worse. And I don't think we're going to have a better chance than that right now.
Samira is wrapped up in her like shawls and kind of looks a little like a drenched cat. So she just kind of shuffles over to where to the tree that Hawk pointed out, and like hunkers down very unhappy cat.
All right.
Ryan's been like just kind of facing up, just letting the rain like on his face. And it's when is that he's like, oh, yeah, we probably do want to find shelter.
Aaron, you don't want to catch hypothermia.
You don't know that.
You're right, actually. Hawk probably doesn't even know what hypothermia is. He's never experienced it.
You can
I'm
see
sure he would
lightning.
suffer of being too cold, though.
The sky lights up with lightning.
When Tobias sees that, he starts ushering everyone inside. He's like, definitely don't want to be out here while that's going on. And he'll probably remain towards the opening or one of the openings for the little shelter and be watching outside for like any indication of the storm letting up.
All right. As you watch and you're listening to the sounds of the rain, the nature, and it smells fantastic. Have you ever smelled like earthy, wet ash? That scent is just drifting all around you, and it smells earthy and damp and comforting. And it's probably another, let's see how long the storm lasts. Yeah, the storm continues for about another 2 hours as you guys are huddled there under the trees. Does anyone do anything during this time?
If Esmeralda is near Tobias at all, he might strike up a conversation.
All right.
Real quick, I don't remember if I've ever tuned to the gesture hat, so I might as well make sure while we've got more than a short rest.
Okay.
So Hawk's just gonna be like holding a gesture hat for about an hour.
All right. So you fondle the
Contemplating
jester
life
hat.
choices.
You could have used a different word, but yes.
Toby, what do you talk to Esmeralda about?
Back when we first met, or when we first formed our alliance with you, you had mentioned that you were a were-raven.
I am, yes.
This may be an odd question, but I was curious. Are you able to fly?
I can fly. I wouldn't want to do it in this weather, but I can definitely fly.
What does that feel like?
Well, there's nothing really like it, to be honest. There's a sort of freedom that comes with being able to fly, and how best to describe it? The wind in my feathers, it's soft and it glides through and it tickles a little bit as it take to the air and swoop around, and it feels wonderful to be able to quite literally be above things and as you're swooping around and flying, looking down on the woods and the folk below, there's nothing quite like it.
Have you ever met anyone in your tribe that had wings that they couldn't use?
Well, to be honest with you, it always takes time to learn how to use the wings. I've had my fair share of trial and error, so to speak, trying to learn how to use the wings when I was younger.
But what about someone who's an adult who has wings that are functionally useless?
I don't really think. Well, and she seems to be sort of trying to figure out how to put this. To be honest with you, it's a learning process, learning how to use the wings. For when the time has come for children to learn how to use them, we encourage them to transform as much as possible. We discuss different flying techniques. We ensure that there's always someone who knows how to fly on hand. We encourage them as much as possible. I don't imagine it would be too different for an adult. But some people can fly and some people don't like to as much. Some people are afraid of heights.
But there's never been someone who can't.
Never, not in my experience or knowledge.
I see. Thank you for indulging me.
Of course.
That'll be the end of that conversation.
All right. Is anyone else doing anything?
Let's go. Aaron is going to not like leave general area, but see if he can like kind of sneak off a bit and like go around a corner from where everyone else is.
You're under a tree.
Yes.
There's
going
Description,
to,
I
like,
thought like maybe
skirt
several trees just
around.
toppled over
Oh,
in
there's
like
a cat
a
there now.
teepee
I'm
shape
gonna
or
go hide
something.
behind
Cat.
a fallen log and
No,
cry.
there's the one tree
God.
which is wide enough to prop up the other tree.
Okay,
That makes
I
sense.
see. It's just more like a natural lean-to, which is kind of neat.
Basically, yes.
That is exceedingly neat.
Sorry, my dumb cat is just Lion Kinging himself on my windowsill.
You
Long
go,
live me.
Mo, I guess. Anyway, yeah, Aaron's just gonna start walking around the tree.
Okay. So you're kind of able to pace back and forth, picking your way around your companions. Are you speaking at all? Or are you just vibing?
No.
Lish sees and judges.
Excellent, excellent. All right, and once he gets like to a section that he's not visible in, it's probably pretty dang damp down there. He's going to actually down and change into the bathing suit he got earlier.
Okay.
Aaron, are you planning on swimming through the ashes or something?
It's wet. Look. And then he's just gonna sit against the tree.
Esmeralda very politely looks away when you start getting naked.
Yeah. Do you mind? Anyway, and is it too wet for him to get out any of the like paper stuff he's working on?
Under the tree, you should be fine.
All right. Yeah, then he'll curl up leaning against like the trunk or the root or whatever's convenient.
Mhm.
And take out his diary, start working on it.
Okay. Anyone else?
I would like to point out to Lish that you've essentially got Hawk cornered. This would be a good time to bug him about, if you even remember the things that you didn't want to talk about earlier. Be a good time to remind him.
I think, like, unless Hawk is doing something funky, I think Lish is gonna be going over to Demir, and she looks so miserable. Is gonna go over.
All right, no
and-
poking for now. Then, all right.
and is going to go and cuddle Demir and try and warm her up, because I mean he doesn't seem very cold, so he's just gonna try and keep her warm.
Hey. Sorry. The cat was up to nonsense.
Mo and DeBo are just like they're having a misbehavior club right now.
He
I
really
guess.
is.
We've got a bad case of the stupids.
He keeps trying to scratch the couch, and it's really bothering me, and I need to figure out how to deter that. Yeah, like Lish Demir kind of like shuffles back a little bit when he starts coming towards her, but then like he wraps his arm around her and she just kind of like hunkers down. Not rejecting, but just kind of like, I'm cold and wet and miserable. I am a cold, wet, miserable cat.
Yeah, he'll hunker down with you and kind of like watch Aaron from afar and kind of like grumble a little bit into Demir's ear about it. not words. He doesn't say anything. He's just kind of like,
Why is Aaron getting naked?
Probably because he wants to get clean.
Friendly reminder that Aaron has seemed somewhat confused about what elves are for most of the story.
Is that how it works?
Just like
Is that how forest people bathe in the rain?
It might be how Aaron bathes.
Everyone's just losing it in their face. That was rather
like,
my bad.
Great.
Seems seems annoyed a little bit. Not necessarily by Aaron stripping off in the corner, but just by Aaron.
It's not one specific thing that bothers me. It's all of it that bothers me.
And like, I don't know, like if Demir's
pointed
been
at
paying any
all of
kind of
me.
attention today, Demir's noticed Lish like watching Aaron and like judging more probably than normal.
I mean, she has been paying attention to him. Whether she's been paying attention to where he's looking, actually, she has. Because that is a high enough perception score that I'm gonna say. It's kind of. Is there a reason you've been staring at him all day?
There's always a reason.
Care
Why
to-
don't you ask him yourself?
Hey, Aaron.
Aaron flinches and probably just starts stuffing his diary back into his backpack. Yeah?
That's not suspicious at all. Why is
Do you
Lish
need
been
something?
staring at you?
When enters and in the most unconvincing tone you've ever heard, says, he's just kind of like that.
I mean, you're right, but
These three carry the most powerful energy I've ever seen.
like you're not wrong, but
Oh my gosh. My boy.
He's gonna
No.
shrug.
Just an orange blur.
Yes, I'm sure that's all it is, he says, looking at you like.
Aaron!
if you
Oh,
two like
God.
need to sneak off somewhere, like we're stuck here until it's done raining. Like
Lish just holds you tighter.
You can
I'm
see
sure you guys
Aaron
can find another
processing.
fallen tree.
You can see Aaron processing what Demir is saying and just having an, oh God. And he's just gonna frantically start gesturing incomprehensibly.
Give us a demonstration of the incomprehensibility. Great.
Samir's just kind of gonna let it drop. Like she is not. She is. It is too wet and cold for her to try and figure out the incomprehensibility of Aaron's mind.
It's like, I'm
Aaron,
soaked. I didn't want to open this can of worms today.
Aaron, for his part, is kind of over there like, I have just been made aware of something that I was not aware of before. And now I have to factor this into my calculations.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, that's about it. Samir just kind of like, since Lish is holding her, she's just gonna eventually like kind of relax back down against him, because he is warm and not wet, or not as wet. He's just kind of, you smell like wet dog.
Do not.
You do.
Do not.
You all kind of do at this point.
I
But
don't know. I
yeah.
smell a wet dog, and there's only one of us who turns into a dog.
I'm not going to dignify that with a response because you know it's not true. Do you want a dire wolf to sleep against tonight and keep you warm or not? Because you're going to complain about wet dog smell, then
Samir just kind of honestly like makes that kind of noise and doesn't say anything.
Lish will offer himself up as a big warm furry blanket for Demir and I guess Levy or whoever else wants to come and hunker down for the night.
Are you hunkering in for the night?
I
We're
mean,
just, we're
how
just
long
hang-
does
we're,
the
we're
rain
hanging
go
out for like 2 hours total
Just
because
a
it's a
couple
long
hours.
rainstorm.
Just a
Okay.
couple hours.
Yeah.
Well, for the time being, then until
It
the
is
rain
getting later
lets
in the
up.
day, though, so if you wanted to, you could. But
Not necessary if we want to keep moving. I'll just I'll wild shape and keep the babies warm.
all right. Yeah, so eventually the rain comes to an end and you guys can continue on your way.
First order of business is if we can find our way back to the path if we want to do that, because there wasn't a deer at the end of these tracks. It was literally nothing. Somehow.
There was a shelter.
There was a shelter, but there wasn't a deer. We don't really have a direction to go from here except back or just a cardinal direction.
Yeah, so here's the thing. At this point, I'm going to have you guys make several checks to get through the woods. Just to see how well you guys go without getting lost. I'm going to have different people helm these checks, and I'm going to have you guys can all make nature checks or survival checks if you wanted to, I guess, but the DC would get higher for each person.
Can't
So-
get lost if you don't know where you're going.
Yeah. And yeah. So you guys can choose what kind of checks you guys want to make. I'll listen up, you fucking jungle in Critical Role. Trying to intimidate it into
Right, nature, you bitch.
yeah.
You're gonna listen to us.
So who's going to make the first check?
Persuade it, flirt with the forest.
Okay.
I mean, I can
Okay.
with my woof senses try
Okay.
and what am I looking for? Are we searching for something in particular?
That's up to you guys.
Probably a way forward first.
Are we just heading farther and farther in the same direction we were headed then?
We could start with if an initial check doesn't reveal any like either natural path or animal tracks and stuff, that we can just keep proceeding the same direction we're going until we do find either a natural path of some kind or animal tracks that could indicate some route or direction to take.
Yeah, I mean, can I search around and see if the rain left any sign of any sort of track to follow behind? Just kind of before I choose a direction. Not the
Okay.
direction that we came from, I don't think.
So is this the check you're going to be making to navigate through the forest, or is
Yeah, I
this-
want to make it like an investigation check to see if any direction away from where we'd been coming would be the best direction based on tracks,
All
smells,
right.
signs.
All right. Roll an investigation check.
Cool. Let's see. That's a 3.
Okay.
There's probably nothing left after that rain.
Yeah. It you end up starting to follow what you think might be another deer trail. But it's just sloppy and muddy and miserable. And after a little while of walking, you're not even sure if you've been going in a straight line or if you've been curving around. So you're starting to get kind of lost.
All right.
All right,
Wolflish will go back to Demir and just be like, sad noises.
I'm wondering if a background ability that Hawk has is going to help here. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
The friggin' Outlander or whatever it's called, our background has this like 2-part ability. One of the parts is finding food, and the other part is you have an excellent memory for maps and geography, and you can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you.
you have not been in this forest.
Yeah, which is
Before.
why I'm wondering if that's even going to help.
Do you want to helm the next check?
That's a good question. I am not confident in my luck, but I mean, yeah, I'll try it. Hawk's gonna try and find, like, figure out, like, he's gonna like try to orient himself and like figure out which way would probably point towards the center of the forest.
All right. So this would be a survival check.
All right. Fail me now, please. It failed me now, please. It's a 4.
Okay.
God damn it.
You were thrown off by the rain completely. And you sort of lost track about like which way is north from the just from your time underneath the tree. Oh, why abandon me, Mohinder?
I imagine
Anyway.
like what this looks like is just like Hawk standing one place, like turning around, then eventually he just mutters, I knew I should have bought a compass.
Yeah, basically. All right, third check. Who's gonna take the lead?
We are never getting out of these woods.
We're never leaving these woods.
Yeah, you're
Ever.
pretty fucking lost at this point.
I'll go for it.
All right.
Like I said,
Aaron,
we're
you
just
used to live
literally-
here, right? Do you know where the bathroom is?
we're
Should
just
we
literally
potentially
part of the forest to take us?
find a spot for Esmeralda to meditate?
That's up to you guys.
It's a good idea.
That would be a good idea.
Hang on.
Yeah, right.
So
Mhm.
no, Aaron, you go ahead. And then I'll-
Yeah, Toby's right, I think. That's what I'll be looking for. That's an 11.
4.
Yeah. What were you rolling? What kind of check?
Nature to see if it looks like there's clearing up anywhere.
Nature. Yeah. So the DC was higher since it was
Yeah.
already rolled. Yeah, you guys are pretty fucking lost at this point.
All right.
So
This just in, wilderness themed party gets stuck in forest.
yeah.
Yeah, so Demir is looking at all you wilderness people a little like,
You can walk the walk.
Okay.
We sure can. All right, they're like, you can talk the talk. We sure
So,
can't walk the walk, can you?
so
Oh man.
Esmeralda said that part of it is that the forest leads you to the heart of it, right?
That's what I was told at least.
So, do we really need to know where we're going? We just need the forest to tell us.
And I admire your confidence, but I sort of like to know where I'm going a little bit at least. That's why I was going to try to meditate for a while, but at this point, I would like you guys.
I was gonna ask, can I try and persuade the forest to show us where we need to go?
With your
I was
immense
gonna-
charisma.
So
I was gonna say as Tobias, maybe Demir has a point in if the whole reason behind letting the forest show you where to go, it means putting your full faith into Sylvanas, correct?
well, this forest is sacred to him, but he would not ask those who do not have faith in him already to devote themselves to him, so to speak. Nature is eternal. It's always here.
Then maybe he's just, or the process of allowing the force to guide you means placing your faith in nature,
I suppose.
trusting in its steadfastness to lead you to where you need to be.
So at this point, you
You're-
guys are sort of near you're in an area where there seems to be more living plants. Demir, you can try to persuade the forest if you want.
Yeah, Demir is going to kind of walk out into the woods and just like take a deep breath and close her eyes and start fucking walking. I don't know why she's doing this. This is a bad idea, but let's see.
Okay.
That is a 13.
I hope she's
Not
being
great.
followed.
So
Yeah, Tobias will follow her.
Demir is taking point then, and Toby, you're next to her.
Correct.
Okay. Esmeralda is gonna follow along. Who's next?
Hawk's coming along too. He doesn't want to be left behind. He's going to encourage everyone else to follow too, just so we stay together as a group in this potentially dangerous forest.
Okay.
Aaron's just being dragged around by Hawk today.
You're still taking up the rear. All right. So Demir, roll a perception check.
Okay.
And you too, Tobias, since you're up front.
That's not great. That's the 7.
7.
To be fair, my eyes are closed. I'm just walking.
Oh, that's fucking funny. Tobias also got a 7.
Okay.
We're doing great, guys.
So, Demir, you start walking with your eyes closed. And Tobias, are your eyes closed too, or are you...
No, he's
Okay.
probably watching out for Demir to make sure she doesn't fucking trip or walk into a tree.
Well, that's unfortunate because you both rolled 7s.
The
So,
fuck?
Demir, you're walking, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself. And Tobias, you see she's right about to walk into a tree. And as you kind of like rush forward to try and stop her, you trip over a root. So that you trip over a root and Demir walks into the tree at the same time. Lish, you're pretty fucking perceptive. What languages do you speak? Lish.
I speak Goblin, and I think it's, what is it? Common, Druidic, Elvish, Goblin, Maharabi, and Sylvan.
Okay. You hear bellowing in the distance that you guys are in the direction that you guys are walking. It is in a sort of deep a deep language that you do not recognize.
Is it draconic? Is it quarry? Is it infernal? Don't mind me just going to Levy's language list.
Here, just for the sake of ease, what languages do you all speak? One, I assume Lish points it out. Are you still in wolf form? Okay.
Yes.
Um,
I'm up by Demir, stopping her from smashing herself against bark.
I think you're
well,
too late for that.
Too fucking late.
Hawk can't speak any languages that Lish doesn't know, so he doesn't understand this either.
Tobias only speaks Common and Hunter's Camp, which is
I've
a
got
win.
Celestial.
Yeah, no, none of those.
I've got a
Yeah.
hunch as a player, but I don't want to say it.
Can I roll to identify what that bellowing language is?
Go for it.
Levy has quarry, infernal, draconic, and then Demir doesn't have anything special.
What would that be? Would that be a investigation roll or a perception roll?
That would just be a straight intelligence roll.
Ooh, rolled well. That's a non-natural 20.
Listening to just the tone and cadence of the language, you haven't had much experience with this particular language, but it sounds like giant.
Giant.
And whatever it is, it sounds mad.
Probably should avoid that. Does it sound like it's getting closer?
No. And at this point, you also hear Sylvan.
The sound of man.
The Sylvan, the voice is different. It's more feminine. And those of you that speak Sylvan, which is most of you, I think,
Funnily enough.
you can tell that whatever this is, she is saying, "Be gone from here."
Fighting back.
Whoever this is, it sounds like they need help. Should we butt in?
You want to fight a giant?
Not particularly, but if it's someone in need of assistance, and perhaps they could point us in the right direction as well.
Lead the way, Hawk.
I'm not leading everyone into this.
Go on.
If a giant needs fighting, then I think we should go do so.
All right. Marching
All
order
right
then.
then. Well,
Hawk's first.
Lish told Hawk to lead the way, so he is going to lead the way.
Okay.
And I'll go second.
nudges robot butt in the direction of
All right.
Demir is just rubbing like her face and nose, and she's going to climb up on Lish.
Okay. So
Okay, Princess Mononoke.
we've got Hawk and Erin up front. Esmeralda is going to follow them.
Tobias will stick next to Esmeralda.
All right. And then it's Demir and Lish, and then sounds like Levy's in the back.
The fighter sailing.
So,
Hunk's gonna draw out his bow on the way over.
all right. As you make your way over, just a second, I have to make Roll20 like me, which it doesn't. You see, you end up coming upon something of a little glade in the forest. It's odd because there's ivy and vines almost covering the area. And those of you that are a little more perceptive, you notice that looking in just at a glance within these vines, there seem to be bones of various sorts, bones and bodies of creatures, some humanoid, some not. And as you step into this glade, in the very center, there is what looks like a stump. It's dead, but there are more of these vines growing over it. And standing before it is a dark-skinned woman with long, curly black hair, and what at first glance might be antlers, but upon closer inspection seem to be branches actually growing out of her head. And on the branches there are various of these same sort of vines sort of dangling down from them. And she is staring up defiantly at, it looks like a troll, but there seems to be something wrong about it. There are open sores on its flesh, and parts of it where you can sort of see the flesh has rotted away to bone. It's fucking disgusting. And I will drag you guys over so you can see the map. And I would like for you guys to roll for initiative. Let's see what lady here gets.
The hawk dice like me again. That's a 22.
All right.
20.
I really like the little bones.
Little boy. They're just hanging out.
So
Tucked
small.
That's
Tucked
gonna
into
be
bed
a
under the
21,
vines.
baby.
Hey, fast archer boys.
21 for Demir and a 17 for Levy.
All right. Everyone's rolling super well.
Finally.
Okay.
Where were these
And
rolls when we needed them?
Lish, what'd you
Watch
get?
this absolutely not keep up for the fight.
Yeah, this is my
7.
119 for the day, I swear.
Okay. Just a second. I have to roll for our friends here. Where are you?
Esmeralda.
And Esmeralda, where are your stats? All right. So it is actually the lady's turn first.
Yeah, she rolled super well.
Yeah. She rolled a natural 18 plus whatever.
She fast.
Yeah. So let's see. What she's going to do is, as she's standing there between the vine covered stump and this creature, she sort of waves her hand and a dagger appears, but it doesn't really look like a regular sort of dagger. It looks like it's made out of a giant fucking thorn.
Ooh, sick.
And oh, she is rolling well. I love her. She is, yeah, that definitely hits. And she does a whopping 7 damage against the troll-like creature. And that's it for her turn. Hawk.
All right, I want to check something real quick. Okay. I think I want to ask about a DM ruling.
All right.
If I have multiple attacks, can one attack be sharpshooter and one attack be normal?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what Hawk's gonna do is he's gonna use a normal attack that's arcane charged to start. First, I think I might want to move. Might as well. Let's see. Kind of want to go over. Let's go over here. Just like dash through, dash between Aaron and Toby with a quick excuse me, and just like come to like a halt with the bow already drawn, and then like try and plink an arrow at the friggin' beaten up troll thing with a longbow attack. This one is arcane charged.
Okay.
18.
That hits.
Cool. Gonna do shadow arrow, so 5 extra psychic damage, and needs to pass DC 13 wisdom or be blinded.
Okay, let's see. Oh, that's a natural 14.
Ah.
Plus whatever.
Oh well, I got the extra damage.
Okay. So
quick little side note, I thought about like the flavoring for shadow arrow.
Yeah, just describe to me what it looks like.
So like Huck mutters his usual like little shadow and Sylvan as he plinks out the arrow. When it hits, there's like a small burst of shadowy magic and and some like maybe like 3 to 4 extra shadowy looking arrows burst out of the actual one and go straight for the head and just dissipate on contact.
Okay, cool.
The other one's going to be a sharpshooter.
All right.
There we go. Oh wow.
That's 16 minus 5 for the sharpshooter.
I have the for this sheet macro, I have the -5 deducted in.
Okay.
So like normally it's a +8 for Hawk to hit. This one's a +3.
Okay. Yeah, that hits then.
Cool.
Well, and that's 22 piercing.
Yep.
I
keep forgetting how powerful this feat is. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Damir.
Okay, Demir is going to climb off of Lish and 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm just gonna go over here.
Okay.
Because I
As
don't
you kind of, do you go through the vines?
no, I'm going to try and circle around them, like kind of.
Like around this way?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I was trying to find the right thing on roll 20. Anyway,
All right.
yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I guess I should be over here if I'm going around vines. Yeah, and I'm going to kind of peek around and send my 2 Eldritch Blasts at the troll guy.
All right.
Oh, that's well, I think that one hits at least. That is a 20 something.
Yes.
And then the next one, 16.
16 just hits.
Awesome.
So roll damage.
Ooh, that is 15 points of damage.
All right. Oh, and point of order. I just wanted to double check. Hawk, your shadow arrow is psychic damage, correct?
It is psychic damage,
Okay.
yes.
Just wanted to confirm. And then Demir, sorry, that was
15 points of damage.
15. Okay. All right. Does that end your turn?
Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do for now.
All right, Toby.
Okay. Tobias will step to the side here, so that way he's shooting around Aaron, but he's not also getting into Hawk's line of fire. He's going to use his bonus action for the Crimson Right. Okay. 1d6. Let me roll that real fast. It's going to be a 2. So he'll be down.
All right.
Right, I can't use that one. There we go. Okay. And now to try and hit with the longbow. That's a natural 20 for a
All
hit.
right.
Ooh.
Roll damage.
Cool. So that's this one. So that's 12, and let me roll a d6 for the added Rite of the Storm. That'll be a 15 total for that first one.
All right.
And then time for his second. That's a 14 for his second.
14 to hit.
Yeah.
That misses.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, right, yeah, because the DC is 16, isn't it?
his AC is like 16-ish, I think.
Okay. Cool.
Maybe 15. Who knows?
Aaron.
Aaron knows? No, I'm kidding.
He might. Who knows?
Aaron knows nothing.
God move.
Just to ask one quick question. When doing like crits, that's when you roll the max number of damage, right? Or
No,
Crits are doubling your damage dice. I think.
So
doubling
if I am doing something where I have to roll a d6 and then I roll a 3, that means I got to do 6 damage.
Oh, so
Okay.
you're just doubling whatever they roll.
Yes.
Okay. That's a smart way of doing it, I think.
It's easier, I think, in
Cool,
terms
and
of keeping
getting a
track of
crit-
And it
dice.
avoids like rolling 6 for the base damage and then rolling like a 1 on the second.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for rolling or getting a crit and stuff, it's not when you roll a natural 20, correct? I'm just making sure so I don't like
misconstrued.
Ask the question again, just to make sure I'm.
What qualifies as a critical hit? I know it counts when you're sneak attacking, when you're flanking, I think, depending on what feats and bills you have.
I think crits are only when you roll a 20. Flanking and stuff is like
Yeah.
I don't think flanking like
Flanking gives
Does
you
flanking
advantage
exist?
on things.
Okay,
It doesn't
yeah.
double
Flanking gives
Yeah.
advantage. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Flanking is
Getting a
advantage.
crit is when you roll a 20 and then you get to double your damage, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
So should I double my damage for the shot that
If you
I did?
rolled
'Cause I
if you
rolled a-
rolled a
Yes.
20 to hit, then you double your damage.
A
Okay.
natural 20, not a dirty 20.
It was a natural 20 because
Yes.
the roll itself was a 28. Or a natural 20 plus an 8.
So
it
you
was
would
28
double the
total.
damage.
Cool. That's what I wanted to make sure because it's been 50 years and and so if just doubling the base damage itself without adding the extra Crimson Right, it would have been 24.
Okay.
Plus the 3. So 27.
All right.
Nice.
Fucking like a rail cannon.
I mean, same.
Okay. Now, Erin, what you doing?
Well, we're running in there, I guess. Let's see. All right. Let's go over here, we'll say.
All right.
And that is a what's my 15 to hit.
15 misses.
All right. And second strike. Oh, yeah, that's a 7. I'm done here.
Yeah, okay, that misses. All right. I guess that's good. Okay, so that brings us to Boy's turn. He has some stuff he can do. So first of all, he is going to try to bite the pretty lady. And he just barely misses. So he leans forward to try to bite at her, but she jerks out of the way. And now, noticing this just fucking rando that came up to him, he's going to make a couple attack with his claws. Does a 13 miss? Erin.
Erin, what's your AC?
Yes, it
Okay.
15.
Okay,
It
and
does.
then for the other a claw attack, that is gonna be, does a 22 hit?
You know what? Strangely enough, it does.
Okay, so as he slashes at you, let's do this bit first. You take 10 slashing damage plus 2 necrotic damage.
Make that 1 because I have celestial resistance.
Yep. And then, since it is the end of his turn, each creature within 5 feet of him, you, meaning you and Pretty Lady, where's the D10? You and Pretty Lady take 7 necrotic damage.
All right.
Again, reduced because you're in Azamar.
Yep.
It is now Esmeralda's turn. Esmeralda is going to come forward and she is going to actually activate her rapier. She takes 5 damage from that. And she is going to take 2 strikes against the troll creature with her now on fire rapier. So that's so many dice, so little time. I'm rolling super well today, guys. So that hits, and she's going to do her 8 slashing damage plus 4 fire damage against the troll. All right. That ends her turn. It is now Levy's turn.
Okay, so question. Esmeralda hit it with fire damage. Did it seem like the fire damage did more to it than the other damages that we've been doing?
It doesn't seem like it did more to it, but its rotting pustules some of them do seem to be burned away.
Ew. Okay, next question. Sorry. Is there a way to angle 20 feet, so I think it would be out here, so that it only hits the troll creature, or would it also hit Aaron and Pretty Lady? Yeah.
She would have to choose between hitting if you're doing what I think you're doing. She could step to the side and hit Toby. She could hit Esmeralda, or she could hit Erin, or if she really wants to, she can stay right where she is and hit Esmeralda and Lish.
Ooh, tempted.
I mean, she could hit all of them. That would be quite the move, but I don't think she is going to do that because Levy cares about y'all.
I mean, she could just move in front of us. She has movement.
Yeah, it's not that. It's there's an area of effect I'm wondering if I want to do. So, not, you know what? Levy is going to 10, 15. She's gonna go over here.
All right.
And she's gonna cast magic missile.
Okay. Which is an
and,
auto hit against.
Yep.
I assume she's trying to hit Mr. Trollman.
No, she's trying to hit it. No, she's hitting Trollman. Wow. Okay, so that's 5, 7, 9. 9 points of damage.
All right. Okay. Is that it for her turn?
Yeah.
Lish.
Yeah, so Lish is gonna shake out of his direwolf form.
All right.
He is going to cast a 3rd level moonbeam on Trollman. And Trollman needs to make me a con 15 save.
All right, just a second. I have to find the right token for you.
Okay.
Make sure that you can actually move yourself. There we go. Con save, you said.
Con 15 save, please.
Okay.
And this is just to half the damage, so.
So that's a natural 19 plus whatever, because his con is 22.
All right, so he just takes half damage.
Okay.
And so half of 16. So 8 points of damage.
All right.
And let's see here. Is there anything else I want to do? I'm putting it, let me draw this shape here. I'm putting it right here. Ba-doop. And it'll stay there until he gets out of it or not. He'll continue to take damage if he stays there.
All right.
Let's see, anything else? I think that's all I can do for this turn, so that's where I'm ending it.
All right. And Roll20 is fighting me, so thanks for that.
Right back.
There we go. All right. You're just gonna vibe there.
Not moving.
All right.
I'm
That
keeping an
means
eye on
it
Demir, though.
is Lady's turn. What she is gonna do is she doesn't want to risk allowing him near her vine stump. So she's gonna stay where she is and continue to use her dagger. Yeah, she misses, unfortunately. Hawk, it's your turn.
I started speaking, then realized I was muted. Oops. Second verse, same as the first. Normal attack. This one's arcane charge.
All right.
I'm actually gonna roll a die this time.
Yeah.
Maybe if I use these more, they'll like me better. Okay, that's 15.
15 misses.
Oh, all right. Still gonna go for a sharpshooter on the second hit.
Okay.
Oh, that's better. That's a 17 total.
That hits. Roll damage.
All right. That's 15 plus 1. So 16. 16 piercing damage, to be more precise. And I'm not going to move. I don't really have anything else to do. So we can move on to Demir.
All right. Demir, what are you doing?
Okay. I was too busy looking at Levy and not paying attention to myself. I'm gonna just yeah, I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast him again. I'm a warlock. It's what I do.
It's the old reliable.
Yeah, good old reliable. That's a natural 20.
Woo!
Ooh.
And definitely higher than 16. That's a 20 something again.
All right, roll damage.
Okay, so the critical, that's a 6, so 12.
All right.
And then that's another 6, so 18 damage total.
All right.
And you know, I'm just like I don't like how clustered up we are. I'm gonna 5, 10, 20. Yeah, I'm gonna 25. Oh.
It's so good how alone you'll be when you get roped into all those vines and start dying.
I'm avoiding the vines, but yes,
I don't believe you.
I have Misty
Making it
Step.
harder for people to rescue your ass.
Yes, that is precisely what I am doing. I have Misty Step. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Yeah, that I think that's it for my turn.
All right. Let's see. Toby's turn then.
Okay. Same thing as last time. Gonna roll to shoot with the longbow. That's gonna be a 23.
All right. Yeah, it hits.
Okay. I will roll for damage. Oh, first I gotta click that. So that's 8 plus 2. So that's 10 for that first shot.
10 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the second shot rolled a 22.
That hits. Roll damage.
So it'll be a 9 plus. Oh, 9 plus 6 for 15 total.
All right.
And that'll be the end of Toby's turn.
Okay. Erin.
All right. Well, let's see if I can actually hit it this round. That'd be nice.
I believe in you.
That's a 17.
That hits. Roll damage.
Awesome. Let me check how much that is real quick. All right. That is a... Ooh, that's a critical. Okay. That is 12 damage, I believe.
All right.
Awesome. And then I will attack it again.
All right.
Because screw you. Ooh, that is a 21 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
Awesome. And that'll be 4 damage this time around.
All right.
I think that's the end of my turn.
Awesome. That brings us to his turn. Does he take damage from the moonbeam? Lish?
At the start of his turn, he will take damage for being in the moonbeam. So roll me a con 15. And he'll take half if he saves. Otherwise, he takes full.
Let's see.
Nice.
Just double checking something. This thing I'm using isn't being nice to me. Okay. Yeah, that's a dirty 20 for him.
Fine. He takes 8 damage.
Okay.
8 radiant damage, if that matters.
All right. It does not, but it is nice to know. Okay, so he's a troll. He's fucking stupid. He's gonna stay put. But he's still gonna slap you guys. He's gonna try to bite Lady again. And he succeeds in biting her. So that's 8 piercing damage plus 3d10 necrotic damage. Good for her. Okay. Sorry, so much math, so little time. So he bites her and basically like takes a chunk out of her. It is not pretty. And then he's going to slash at Esmeralda because she's just stabbed the shit out of him. Where's your armor class? Yeah, that misses. And then is going to take a slash at Erin, which also misses. So that ends his turn. And he does not actually end up getting to do the necrotic aura thing because of Esmeralda's fire. And which brings us to her turn. She doesn't like this guy. She actually probably should have gotten a second attack last turn, but that's fine. I forgot. Yeah, that hits, and second attack also hits. 16, and then Esmeralda does a whopping 24 damage to him in her turn.
Christ.
Wow.
She is fucking kicking his ass. And it's clear, like, as she is slashing against him with her sword, like, she is well trained. She knows what she's doing. She knows exactly where to strike. Levy, it is your turn. So Demir, what you gonna do for her?
Okay. So if here's the question. If Levy puts a spell where Lish's moonbeam is, can that work? Can a spell be in the same place as another spell?
Yes.
Yeah, it
Okay,
should.
cool. Cool. So she's going to cast Cloud of Daggers in the same location, which is a 5-foot cube.
All right.
And the creature takes 4d4 slashing damage when it enters the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn there. So I think it gets it right away and then subsequently
Okay.
if it stays there.
Is that like a dex saving throw or anything?
It doesn't seem like it. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Yeah, no, it doesn't say anything about a save. Oh, wait. It says that there's a spell save, but it doesn't say what kind of save it would be.
It would be her spell save, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Which is at the top of her spell list, right?
Well, that's her spell save, but it doesn't say what kind. So let me look it up real quick.
Cool. Meantime, I'm gonna roll 44. Just I think it might just be an area of effect.
Yeah, I think it's just an area of effect. So you can roll the damage for me.
Yeah, I'm looking it up on the. I looked it up too on the 5e wiki that I use for all my Favy stuff, and it doesn't mention a save. It just mentions the same stuff as Moonbeam, where it takes the damage if it starts its turn there.
Cool. So that's 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Slashing damage. And yeah, that's gonna be her turn.
All right. So it is Lish's turn now.
It doesn't take damage on my turn, I'm pretty sure.
No, it's just on his.
I hate that most druid spells are concentration spells. It makes things far more difficult than it needs to be. I guess I will. I really don't want to get up in melee range with this guy, so I'm going to cast Frostbite on it.
Okay.
It's a con 15 save.
All right. $16.
Okay. Yeah, so it succeeds on that. But I guess I will. I don't want to put my teeth on that. It really just seems real gross to put your teeth on that.
It does look pretty fucking gross.
That's my turn, I think. I'm gonna move 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna move 30 feet around the bush
Okay.
to, I think it's here I can get, so that's where I'm gonna go.
All right. The vine going around the vines is really eating up you guys' movement, isn't it?
No, we don't have a ton of places to go.
I
otherwise,
mean,
so-
there's bones in that shit. I don't want to step in it. It's also good map design if you think about it, because it's restricting our movement and makes us think. That's how I'm viewing. That's how I'm choosing to view it anyway.
All right. Lady is going to take. She's actually going to also cast magic missile on him because she missed with her dagger last time. So, so I just need to see. Yeah, she reaches out and points at him, and 3 thorn-shaped darts fly out of her hand towards him and slam into his body, dealing some damage.
Can we mark on the map where the dagger cloud is?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. How bad off does she look? I know she got like a couple of.
She's not looking happy.
She got like 1 chunk bitten out of her, I think,
Mhm.
but it was a nasty bite.
I see you looking.
All right. Yeah, she's looking kind of rough. Anyway, that ends her turn. Hawk.
In the interest of murdering this thing before it murders her, I'm gonna double sharpshooter this turn. No
Alright.
arcane charges. Oh, that's a nat 1. That's just an auto miss. Wait, am I muted? No, I'm not.
You're good.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
you're good.
I didn't remember if I remembered to unmute myself. Okay, so that's a miss for 1, and the other one is a 15.
A 15 misses.
Damn, 2 misses. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like sort of curse under his breath. Just like, damn it.
He doesn't have breath.
Shit, you're right. I don't have eyes either. What a world we live in.
Uh,
Can't have shit
all
in
right.
Bayron.
Do you move at all?
At this point, and because you asked, I'm actually gonna move back here.
All right.
The vines are no bueno.
Demir.
Yeah, hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to draw. So I have a question. A cube, in a cube with 5 feet on each side, is that a single square, or is that a square with 5 around?
It's a single square. Each square is a 5 foot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Each
cool.
square is a 5 by 5, basically.
Cool. I was
So-
trying to draw the dagger cloud, so it's gonna be like right there, so it doesn't hit anyone. Cool. Demir is going to. I mean, honestly, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him again.
Smudge, miss, smash.
Ah. Has anyone done necromantic damage? Necrotic damage to it?
I don't
Just
think
not yet.
so, and I don't think it's a good idea to try.
Yeah.
This guy is
probably.
obviously ravaged necrosis. I don't think necrotic damage would actually do much.
But
I
would
mean,
Demir
you
know
never
that?
know. All right. So that's a dirty 20 and a 16. So I think they both hit. That is 8 and a 5. So math. That's a 13 points of damage for Demir.
All right.
And I'm just gonna chill here.
Okay. Toby.
Yep. No, so far it seems like what he's been doing has been working fine. So he'll just keep doing that. First roll. That's a nat 1, so that's a miss. Second attack.
Please don't also roll a 15.
That's a 19. So that should
That
hit.
hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus 8 and then plus. Oh, another 6. So 14. 14 damage total.
All right.
And that'll be the end of his turn.
All right. Looking rough.
Aaron, put it down.
Aaron.
Oh, I wanna.
Do it.
Yeah, I think Aaron's gonna be recklessly attacking right now. So that'll be an effect if it
Mhm.
survives. That's a that's much nicer. That's a 22 to hit,
That hits. Roll damage.
and that is 4 damage.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
you got
Okay,
another
second
attack though,
hit.
right? Yeah.
Yep. Ooh. Wow. Okay, that is another 21 to hit,
Roll
Hmm?
damage.
and it gives me. Oh, come on. 5 damage.
It's more than 4.
Okay.
True. It is more than 4.
Welcome
right.
to welcome to Great Axe. You've got a ton of variants.
So,
This is so sad.
Yeah.
my dude here. I'm assuming you're not moving.
Yep.
My dude here takes a bunch of damage at the top of his turn from the cloud of daggers and the moonbeam.
Oh yeah, that's another 44 for Levy and another whatever the moonbeam is.
Roll me a con save 15, please.
That's 9
18.
points.
He takes another 8 damage.
All right.
Just rolling 16s, nothing but 16s.
9 points of Lishan damage.
All right.
Apparently.
Listen damage.
Lishan damage.
So he doesn't like where he's standing. So he is going to move here, meaning that Lady gets an attack of opportunity. which she actually gets. So good for her.
Ooh.
What's her modifier for that? It does a whopping 7 damage to him. All right. And he is going to take a bite attack at Erin, and since you're reckless, he gets advantage.
Yep.
Aaron's swinging so hard he's off
So,
stance.
let's
Yes,
see.
exactly.
That's how I envision reckless attack anyway.
Yeah.
Does a
That's about
19
what I have
hit?
in my head too. Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so you are gonna take 6 piercing damage plus 20 necrotic damage, reduced to half because you're an Azamar.
Jeez.
All right.
So 10 necrotic damage. Then he's going to do his claw attacks against Esmeralda. 1 hits and 1 misses. So does 12 slashing damage to her and 6 necrotic damage. So she's not happy about that.
Oh.
Thus, it's her turn.
Immediate retribution.
Yeah. She is going to move to here. Actually, to here, avoiding the vines, because she's taken a cue from you guys, so that she can get flanking with Erin.
Ooh.
Which will give her advantage. So first strike misses anyway. God damn it. Second strike. Will
One Esmeralda, light him up.
Will double check. Fuck, just barely miss.
Oh my god, no.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, that hurts.
Well, she's doing her best. Even with the advantage from the flanking, so I don't
Yeah, you
fucking
rolled
know.
like 4 times and none of those hit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I thought you were
Anyways.
rolling well today, Avery. What happened?
I guess I used my luck up on the guy trying to murder Erin.
Mood?
Be like that sometimes, you know?
Anyway, it's Levy's turn.
Cool. 5, 10, 15, 20. She's going. Actually, she's gonna go over here by the lady. And lightning bolt.
All right.
Crack-a-thum.
Is that a dex save on my part?
Yes. Dexterity saving throw. I don't think she'll hit any of you guys.
Yeah, no. Is an 18 save?
No. Yes, it does.
Okay.
So he takes
That's just half damage, yeah.
But that's okay because it's 8d6.
Woo!
So
Breaking
hang
out
on
the big guns.
1 second. I only have 4d6 die here, so this will be okay. That's 8 plus. Oh my god, hang on. I gotta do math. Okay. And again. 5. So that's 27 points of damage divided by 2. So that's 13 points of damage.
Okay.
Or 14 if you round up. I don't know if you round up.
He's looking real rough.
All right. Cool.
It's almost
And then-
time.
Levy's just going to kind of smile at the pretty lady and just say, hi.
All right. Lish.
I'm moving my moonbeam. I'm gonna move back there. Do. Chunk. So he needs to get.
Oh, and the cloud of daggers drops. Sorry about that.
So make me a con 15.
$19.
Okay, so he takes half of. So it takes another 8.
Okay.
And how bad did you say he was looking? Pretty darn rough.
He's looking pretty bad.
Don't know if I have anything fun for a bonus action. How's everybody looking?
Esmeralda and Fey Lady both have had chunks taken out of them.
I think Moonbeam's the only thing I'm gonna do. So that's my turn.
Okay. It is Lady's turn. What's she gonna do?
People shit.
She is going to back away to here-ish, standing in the vines. And she is gonna... It's interesting because she seems to sort of trace in midair, and then suddenly there's a vine there, and she pulls it back as if she were pulling back a bowstring, and another vine appears in it. And she is going to shoot him.
Sharp vine, sharp vine.
Yeah, that's just barely misses.
Oh,
Huh.
And it was so cool too.
I mean, I appreciate the theatrics. He's gonna move here for a better shot. And just to play it safe, I'm gonna do a normal arcane charged attack.
Okay.
Come on. Oh, that's an 11. That
That
misses.
misses.
All right,
Your second shot.
second shot. This is also just gonna be a normal attack. I don't want to miss a sharpshooter. Right call, dirty 20. So that's my D8. That is 10 damage piercing.
How do you want to do this?
I mean, there's no other way to do this but a headshot, really. So Huck pulls back, aims after missing the first shot, and he's like, please hit, lets it go, and it just sinks right into this troll's dome.
All right. He keels over.
Oh, thank the gods.
And with that, we will switch back to the Adayi Forest. And I assume you let Moonbeam drop, Lish.
Yeah.
As soon as combat ends, Aaron goes over to the lady, and holds out his hand and says, "May I?" And then repeats the question in Celestial.
You ask first in common.
Mm-hmm.
She seems to understand that better than the Celestial. And she says, "And what would you ask for in return?"
My kind of people.
I know, right? Seems a bit taken aback by that and says, "No more than a passing kindness if you need it."
She's gonna insight check that, actually.
What do you mean you're not asking for money or something?
Very well. I do not thank you for your assistance, but I do appreciate it.
And I'll nod and take his hand back.
And she's just kind of watching you all.
Are you all right? I saw that thing take a large bite out of you, and I can still see it.
Yeah, I mean, how bad does she look after all this still? Still pretty bad, or?
Well, she's at 48 out of 77, so.
Oh, she's fine.
She's fine. It's just like you described it as like a really nasty bite.
I mean, it's fucking gross. It's a weird, gross necromancy troll.
Yeah, I know. So like Huck's still concerned because it's probably like a big chomp.
I don't know if Tobias wants any of his arrows back.
But...
Yeah, I'm not scrounging for arrows in that thing.
Lish is gonna kind of walk around the stump a little bit and kind of, oh, where did she go? She's over here.
Yeah, she is approaching the troll.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess Lish wants to kind of see what it is too.
She's approaching the troll and she reaches towards it. Is anyone stopping her?
No.
Nope.
Cover it with vines. Do it.
Yeah, she is she's casting decompose on it.
A snack.
And vines start to grow all over it. Let's see if I can find the right token here.
In and amongst its like necrosis, does it seem like it's been like at all affected by burning, charring, or is it just like rotting?
Roll an investigation check.
People gotta, oh, that's a natural 20.
Nice.
21.
Okay. So this is a troll that has been affected by necromancy in some way. You don't know the specifics of it because you're not entirely familiar with like what caused this and what its deal is, but you observing its corpse and observing the way that it reacted in the fight, in the combat, you can glean that whatever regenerative properties it had are no longer there. due to its necromantic abilities, it instead was able to sort of draw the life force from the people it was close to, except for when Esmeralda hit it with her fire.
Mm-hmm.
So it was able to do that instead.
Cool.
Get rid of the turn order here. We don't need that anymore. The lady, she's continuing to. It's interesting because as she's kneeling next to the body of the troll, she's casting a cantrip that will decompose it, while also casting druid craft to start to grow vines out of it.
Chomp, 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 chomp.
Hardcore gardening.
Does she seem to be like a certain type of like dryad or some other like species that I would recognize specifically?
You would recognize this actually. You don't have any back home where you were, but she is called a dusk thorn dryad.
They
And
have like a
they-
certain.
they're more about essentially they are the moss and lichen and vines that grow on things. You would get the impression that this stump over here is her creator, her mother, and the vines around the glade are hers. She created them.
I think Lish will wait a little bit for her to finish whatever she's crafting, and kind of like that you put the vines over the troll like that.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
He'll wait a little bit for her to seemingly kind of wrap up her spells and kind of look over to her and just be like, "Are you the mistress of this glade?"
This glade is my home.
And what are you known as?
You can call me Pyracanthia.
Pyracanthia.
May I have your name?
You may call me Lish. And he gives her just like such a smile.
Yeah, she's vibing with you.
Yeah, he just like chuckles at that. Are you still injured? Kind of goes over and inspects her shoulder a little bit.
It's not pretty, but she'll live.
Let me see what I have here. I'm going to cast first I'm going to kind of gesture with my hand and ask politely before casting a healing spirit.
All right.
And I'll give her, how many do I have here? I think I have 6 of these or something. I'll give her like a couple of healing spirit charges.
All right.
Let me see here. Doop, doop, doop. Nice. Nice. One more. Wow, that's almost full health. That's really good. 27 points of healing.
Dang.
Yeah, she's almost back up to full.
I'm just kind of watching the shoulder wound to see
Mhm.
how well it closes up.
I appreciate your assistance.
Of course. What was that? Necromantic in such a forest as this?
Things have been changing. I'm sure you've noticed.
I don't believe that we have.
I do not mean just of the forest.
What do you mean? What have you seen? What do you know?
She kind of thinks for a minute. You know very well that they like to word things very carefully.
Face Society must be so like tense if everyone's just like skirting around entering deals with each other by accident.
If you know,
Yeah.
if you know what the rules are, it's very easy.
Mhm.
I'm just imagining just like, new Fae who aren't accustomed to the rules, just like anxiously bumbling their way through normal conversations.
Beauties.
I
It's
don't know anybody like that.
I mean,
I have
I mean,
no
even
idea
if
what
it-
you're
even if
talking
it-
about.
I mean,
that
even
would
if it-
never be a relatable experience to anyone in this party.
just like Demir getting it. And what's your name, little human? And just like Demir, I mean,
How do you think she lost her name?
it'd be so in character for Hawk to just give it out immediately, but I am not that. I don't want that to happen.
Bringing it back in.
Yes, please. Sorry.
Pyacanthia thinks for a moment, and those of you that are a little more nature inclined know that Pyracantha is a type of vining plant with thorns.
Fitting.
Good.
Those that can leave this plane are fleeing.
Yes, I do believe we've heard something about that. You are Faye, are you not?
I am bound to my vines. And may I have your name?
Uh-oh.
Don't give it to her. Demir is just don't.
Lish is
It's called
gonna,
Aaron.
yeah, Lish is gonna
Called
step in
Aaron.
at that. Lish is gonna step in at that and say, like, step up to her and just be like, we are not here to make any arrangements or deals with you unless you have something particularly interesting to share. But we've heard this before. This is not new news to us. Perhaps you know more context as to the source of the problem.
I do not. I can only be close to my vines in a way. That is why I send my vines to bring me corpses to help regrow the forest. Death is as natural as life, is it not? That is why I was confused about the troll.
That right there is gonna point down at the troll. That is not natural.
No, that was a mistake. I believed that it was more dead than it was. And so I brought it here to fertilize the ground as I brought many of these other corpses.
Gonna nod.
Well, we're glad to help you sort out that situation.
You all are not of this forest.
We are not.
Our friend here, and Hawk gestures to Esmeralda, is trying to find her way to a temple deeper in the forest. We want to help her. Is there any chance you know where it might be?
I do know of this temple that you speak.
May we have directions, if you would be so kind? We're a little sidetracked.
And what would you give me in return?
Hawk looks over to like Lish and Demir, just like, help.
We gave you healing and support with no alternative aims. I would assume that you would be willing to give us help in our directions for our quest in an equally equitable manner.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Ooh.
Erin shoots Lish a dirty and confused look.
What? Not bad. That is a 19.
I would be willing to walk with you for a time, directing you towards this temple. I cannot go too much further from my home. However, she is close to here. And you will be able to know once you have entered her space.
Her space.
The one that has taken up residence.
Lish kind of looks at Esmeralda like, is this familiar to you?
Esmeralda just looks very confused and shrugs.
Any assistance that you could afford us would be greatly appreciated. Do you know, aside from the temple, of any other human or otherwise dwellings?
Erin kind of leans in.
There are the tribes that pass through every now and then. They do not go much to the temple, although there have been a few in recent times since the fire that have gone to the temple, but they did not leave.
They do not leave, though there are none that you've seen recently.
None that I have seen. They have could have taken different routes. They tend to see my vines and the bones within as a bad omen.
I will admit it was concerning at first, but knowing the reason behind the bodies is more comforting, I suppose.
Tyverl was the first. He was injured and laid down near my stump where he perished. It was from him that I was able to glean an understanding of how to regrow the area near my home.
Were you burnt in the fire? Looking at the stump, does it look like it was charred and felled in the fire?
Roll an investigation check.
I gotta stop being so nosy. My investigation is not high enough to be this nosy. That's a 5.
Hard to tell. There's so many vines
plants.
covering it.
Well, hopefully she can give me an answer.
I have felt the flames lick this area, which is why I am set up about regrowing it.
is it just like this like direct area that's like very lush and viney and green, and then it kind of turns more back into the burnt stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is kind of like the radius of it? Is it pretty wide?
Well, you are in an area, as I said before, where you're sort of on the border of where the fire was. This is a little sort of pocket within the burned area, but if you were to continue to the northwest, you would be able to find a more green area.
I know, I'm talking about just like her direct glade, though, like the radius of like her greenery that she's been able to regrow.
She's sorry, Roll20 is freaking out. It's not too large. It's about 300-foot radius, which you would know that's basically about as much as a dryad can leave their home tree or plant.
Yeah, Lish kind of nods at that.
I think when she confirms that, the fire has passed this way, Aaron grabs Toby and says, can you excuse us for a moment? And just yeets.
I hope you get eaten by vines.
So Aaron just grabs Toby and walks away.
Yeah. Does Toby let that happen?
Tobias is confused. He's like, "What? What?" It's like, "Where are we going? What?" He'll follow Aaron. Although it might be a conversation as to wait till next time because it's
it's like 2 minutes to 11.
I gotta get
Mackenzie
ready
has
for work.
Jet.
Yep. Yeah.
Big cliffhanger though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to call it then?
I think so I can get ready.
Sure.
All right. This is a pretty good stopping point too, because we're about to leave with our new dryad friend for a little bit.
True, yeah.
At least for 300 feet.
I mean, hey, she's helping us.
New
and
friend.
she hasn't taken our names, so I'm happy.
Not yet.
Not for lack
Not
of
yet.
trying.
Not for lack of trying.
This encounter is also spurring some questions in Hawk that he's gonna probably ask Demir and Lish about later. There's a conversation that's probably gonna happen.
But anyway,
nothing dreadful, I assure you.
Thanks for
Dreadful
playing,
him,
guys.
but yeah, it was a pleasure.
This was really fun.
Thank you for DMing.
Can't wait till next week.
Next week will be our 1-year anniversary, guys.
1
year.
Yes. Are we gonna try and do another 8 a.m. wake up, or are we gonna start at 10?
8
a.m.
Yeah, 8 a.m. felt a little early for me, so I can make it work again, but I would prefer not to. But if that's what needs to happen, that's what needs to happen.
I would be able to do, if we started at 10, I'd be able to do a 2-hour session next week because I work at 1 to 10.
So maybe starting at 9 instead of 8 would
9 if we want to do a full 3-hour.
Sure, works for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
That's easier for me than 8 for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks for playing, guys.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
See you guys then.
See you next time.
Very well.